So this is part 6 of my childhood Storytime series. And today I want to talk more about what it was like living with a very strict father and what it was like having to walk on eggshells. So, as I told you in prior videos, my father has a very short, anger span. So he would snap really freaking quick. And also, something that I was very aware of in my childhood is like my dad would like shift and change in like a snap of a moment. And it would almost feel like he was a totally different person. Like, it honestly used to scare me sometimes because like when my dad was angry, you could see it in his eyes and I could feel it like in his soul that he was fucking angry. And as a child, it was very unsettling feeling, especially me being extremely sensitive, which I'll talk more about that as well. And I never actually even liked the word sensitive. And my mom used to say I was so sensitive. I honestly did not like to hear it because I hated it. I'm like, because I'm so sensitive, I have so much anxiety. And that's the thing. I grew up with so much anxiety, and still to this day, I'm working on it. Okay, like still to this day, I have anxiety. Sometimes it's even so hard for me to hit record. You would think that I'm a freaking ace at this, but there's times where I'm like, anxiety is like, let me take some deep breaths. Let me anchor back in. I'm safe. Okay, it's okay to speak, because I'll tell you about that as well. Okay, growing up with my dad, you never knew when he was going to be happy, and if he was happy, it was only going to be for a moment. And that was something that I felt and I picked up on. I'm like, damn, well, if my dad's happy, it's only a matter of time until something makes him mad. So it was like, when there was times that he was happy, I would try to enjoy it and try, to really be in that experience, because I love doing things with my dad. That was the thing. My dad was always the type of person, as a Capricorn, he loved being on the go. He was always on the road, always on the go, always talking to people, always meeting people. He always did have a lot of friends and connections and stuff like that because he was a talker. He was very good at talking, very charming talker, and again, Jamaican accent vibes, things like that. Like, my dad was that's where I feel like I get a little bit of that little swagger from, because my dad was, he went here, he is still to this day, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he knew kind of how to talk, he knew how to move, and he had I would say a very strong mentality when it came to like getting what he needed. Okay, whatever he needed, he would always make sure that he had, and he would go after it. Somehow he would get it, some way. But again, it was always one thing about my dad, though. He would always imprint and embed, like, it's always honesty and integrity. He's like, always be honest, always operate out of integrity. He would always say those things to me. So I knew in my soul that my dad has good within him through his higher self's energy. I could feel that. Like, when I would tell you, like, my dad was very about that. He was like, you need to show up and present yourself with honesty and integrity. I remember always hearing that, honesty and integrity, show up in honesty and integrity. But then on the flip side, I picked up on shady behavior. I picked up on witnessing, cheating behaviors. I witnessed, my dad lying, and I also had to participate if needed in lying for my dad. He would literally say, you need to tell them this, you need to say this, if your mother asks me this, say this. And when my dad would look you in the eye, you're not going to be like, no, I'm not doing that. You're going to be like, okay. So then I would pray that my mom would never fucking ask me. And I was lucky that my mom literally never asked me anything. So, yeah, there's that. Like I said, you never knew when he was going to flip out. And I said that the happiness was short-lived. And one thing that I could also say that I really remembered is we were not allowed to express our emotions. Oh my God, we were not. Okay? If any of us were crying, mind you, there was times where we would get beat with the belt, or if my dad was angry, there was times where I got beat with the belt for shit that I didn't even do. I will never forget, there was this one time where I was woken up in my sleep by getting hit with the belt for being accused of something that I did not do. Okay, so I've had a very, erratic life. It was like sleeping on eggshells too, because it's like I had to kind of always sleep in the energy of shit. I don't know what's about to fucking happen. I don't know if my dad is about to burst in my room. And that was the thing. It was more so about anger or releasing. I'm not going to sit here and say, like, my dad used to beat the shit out of me all the time. Like, I could only really remember a couple times really getting beat. Other than that, it was just my older brother, which, again, my older brother had a totally different dad. And I witnessed some of the most craziest shit, like, to this day that I'm like, it's fucked up. Like, my dad treated my older brother absolutely differently. I witnessed that very young. Like, he was not treated like me and my brother, because me and my brother were his blood children. So I experienced that as well, which I'll talk about in other series. I'm gonna stop there. I'll kind of go more into it later on, but that's gonna be part 6. But yeah, so I'm going to leave it there for now. Please be sure to give this video a like. Comment below. Let me know if any of you resonated with this or if you experienced something similar. Be sure to save this video and comment below to let me know that you're ready for the next part.